Hi people, today I would like to show you the new Sony A5000 digital camera. First of all, let's get this new naming scheme explained. This camera is actually the successor to the NEX-3N, which replaced the NEX-F3, which replaced the NEX-C3, which came after the original NEX-3 in 2010. Sony said they changed to the new naming scheme in order not to confuse the customers, but I think they made a bad move and actually complicated things even further. NEX name was well accepted and it was easy to distinguish cameras, but now you have one name, Alpha, for all cameras, and some of them are E-mount, like this one, and some are traditional Alpha and Minolta mount. Also, this new A5000 replaces NEX-3N, so it would be logical to name it A3000. But this cannot be done since there already is A3000 and it is physically big as SLT or SLR cameras. I wonder how they will name the NEX-5 successor when it arrives, since the A5000 name is now also taken. But this is Sony, they always complicate things. Anyway, let's start with the hands-on tour. The camera is built from plastic. You can feel this is a basic model when you hold it in your hands, but all the pieces are well put together. The camera has this nice little grip and thumb rest, so when you hold it, it fits very nicely in your hand. On the top there is a pop-up flash and two holes for stereo microphone. The on-off switch and zoom rocker dial, which is useful only if you use motor-powered zoom lenses, just like this one 16 to 50 mm, which comes as a kit with this camera. Zoom can also be, beside this rocker dial on the camera, zoom can also be controlled with the rocker on the lens barrel, and also using this rotating dial. Double controls are necessary because this ring can be reassigned as manual focus, so you still need this rocker dial for older NEX models which do not have the zoom control on the camera body, just like this A5000 does. Behind the lens you can see a big APS-C sensor which has 20 megapixels in this camera. Previous models had 16 megapixels. On the back you can see usual NEX layout with the buttons controls on the right and a big LCD on the left. LCD can be tilted all the way to 180 degrees upwards. So basically you get a selfie cam. Yeah, this is me, hello world. Now the weird thing about it is, for example, now I have selected single shooting mode, and when I rotate the LCD upward, the camera automatically goes to 3-second timer. And when you want to change that with the LCD in up position, the camera tells you this operation or setting not available as follows, self-portrait, blah blah blah. So basically each time you want to take a selfie you need to use this 3-second timer. This is irritating for me at least. LCD doesn't have the touch control and it has 460,000 dots, which is below expectations for 2014, especially since the first three NEX models had 920,000 dots, and Sony downgraded the LCD dot count in the last year for the NEX-3N model. This LCD also has quite poor viewing angles, especially when you look at it from below. This is also downgrade from the original NEX-3, which had perfect viewing angles. On the bottom you can see the battery compartment. It uses the same FW50 battery model which is used in every NEX model ever made, thankfully. And the memory card is now moved to the left, together with micro HDMI output and micro USB connector. USB connector is also used for charging. You get the AC adapter together with your camera, so you have to charge the battery inside the camera, and if you want to do it in the external charger, you have to buy it separately. Let's go through the menu system right now. Sony ditched the dreaded NEX menu system, so now we have this traditional layout where you scroll left to right through tabs and then down and up to select the function. This menu may not be that beautiful visually, but in my opinion this is a real step forward for ease of use. Okay, let's go to the beginning. Shooting mode. You get all the usual Sony modes, green automatic, advanced automatic, scene modes, panorama, and so on. Image size, as you can see, maximum is 20 megapixel, 2 lower resolutions are also available, 2 aspect ratios, quality, standard RAW, and JPEG, and 2 level of JPEG compressions. These are for panorama settings. Video format, you can shoot at maximum at 50i 24 megabits per second, but I prefer to use progressive frame rate 25. Dry mode, you get single shooting, continuous, and speed priority. You can shoot at maximum 4 frames per second with this camera. This is also downgrade to the original NEX3 model, which could fire at 7 frames per second. Timer 210 seconds, and also bracketing. You can select bracketing from 0.3 exposure compensation values, 0.7, 1, 2 and 3. White balance bracketing, dynamic range bracketing, and that's it. There is one also detail that is irritating with this camera. You cannot disengage the fake shutter sound, which is emitted through this speaker on the bottom of the camera. So, just a second. You can hear the actual mechanical sound of the shutter, but there is also a fake sound emitted through the microphone. This is also quite irritating. I don't see the point of this in this camera. Well, again, this is Sony. Dry mode, flash mode, this is all obvious. Focus mode, traditional, single, continuous, dual, manual focus. Focus area, you get 4 options. Wide, the camera focuses on everything in the screen. Zone focus, you get these 9 points which you can move around the frame. And center and single flexible spot which you can move around the frame. AF illuminator, the lamp is right here, it's orange. ISO value on this camera goes from 100, you have auto function of course, to all the way to 1600. Let's leave it in auto. White balance, dynamic range, you've all seen that before. Smile shutter, steady shot, if the lens has steady shot, this one has. Blah blah blah, windows reduction, and so on. Zebra pattern, this is used to show you overexposed areas in an image. Manual focus assist, especially useful for manual lenses. You can select which options you want to see when you push the display button. Picking function, also used for manual focus assist. Custom key settings, you can assign several buttons, the question button, center button on the multi-way controller, left button, right button and down button. You get quite a lot of options you can reassign. Movie button can be disabled, so you do not accidentally start movie recording. Wi-Fi settings, also NFC. This camera has NFC. Oops. You can also download applications on this camera, playback menu and main settings menu. Okay, this is basically everything you need to know about this camera, and please visit my blog camerahoarders.com, where you can read the entire review with comments on and image samples and view them by yourself. Thanks for watching.